Young Junk!
7.
Oh.
What's up to all our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? And thank you for tuning into one of the longest running pop culture and comic book podcasts in the world, CultPop Podcast Live, episode 119. I checked that. It is correct. Yeah. Friendship. Yeah. If you're new here, this is a place where we practice our high fives. We talk about comics, movies, TV, missions in which the odds of completion are barely, if at all, possible, and all the other things that scratch that nerdy itch. Tonight we are broadcasting, if that's what you want to call this,
Yeah.
from the Young Junk HQ. Young Junk!
That was good.
Do you want to do one too? I'll do it up here. I'll do it again. Tonight we are broadcasting to you from Young Junk HQ. Young Junk! I thought she was going to do it.
Oh, by her
No.
onesies?
Yeah.
No. It's okay.
I wanted
now the pressure's on.
I wanted an isolated one.
Oh. Tonight we're broadcasting to you live from Young Junk HQ.
Young Junk.
A bomb-ass podcast studio in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm Noel, your host this evening. You may recognize my voice from Fresh Floppies, a weekly audio podcast where we provide spoiler-free reviews of each week's comics, or my face from countless Pro Edward reels.
That's true.
Yes. I love that that's the face that
That's
we
fine.
get.
Yeah.
You know what?
The hard eyes.
I'm owning it. Alice is here with me tonight from...
Inside the morgue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they let me out. I'm going to keep making that joke.
It's a wonderful podcast also produced here where she and her co-host Jess have deeply delightful conversations about death on screen.
We do.
Yeah, you don't kill
Dylan-
anyone on screen. You on-screen deaths.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just below screen.
Off-
The murders happen
record.
So
just underneath.
they bring someone in on camera,
Yeah.
and then they go away, and you don't see them leave.
Yeah.
Anyway, also with me tonight is what's your name?
JD of Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex, located at 4327 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA 19127. It's a super rad comic shop that caters to rad-ass comic folks like yourself, all shapes, sizes, and genders. Get in here and buy my stuff.
Not here, the shop. We're not in the same location.
Somebody
ASMR.
busts in.
Yeah.
Take my money!
Also, JD's eating an apple live.
In case you couldn't hear it.
Yeah. Get in that mic though. Can we key him
Don't
up?
do this to Dylan. I feel so bad for Dylan every time we eat.
I'm
Speaking
cutting
of-
his mic in 3, 2, 1.
Speaking of, in that booth, do we
What's
call it a booth? It's just like a corner in the room
What'd that booth do?
with a bucket. It's our expert.
Yeah, we
producer,
found out Dylan lives here.
Dylan, if anyone's watching this or listening, or watching and listening, hopefully it's not on mute,
The apple, it might be.
and they want to know more about Young Junk HQ and the spaces and services and the things, how do they inquire?
Oh, we have so many services.
All the
So
things.
many services. And if you want one of those or multiple of those services, look at the bottom of the screen. That's my email. Dylan at
It's further down.
youngjunk.com.
It's
If
further
you are a listener and not a watcher, that is my email. Contact me about starting a podcast here, and we'll have a blast.
It is very fun.
It is.
It's fine.
Some of my good times are here.
Aw. me
Just
too.
some. Not
And then
all.
also over there.
I didn't say you guys were here at the time that my good times were here. I'm just
Yeah,
I
saying.
didn't say you
I
were
had a-
here either.
I had a really great-
I have a whole nother podcast in this studio.
Damn it.
I don't. I'm never here. Anyway, tonight we continue our previously accepted mission, which is to deep dive into each Mission Impossible film in preparation for the final installment this May. An adventure we're calling Missions Probable, a CultPop event series. But before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit about some breaking news, maybe a little bits and bobs about our previous weeks. Also, a gentle reminder before we get rolling. Officially, I mean we're rolling, but
rolling.
but the main topics.
Okay.
Like the topic.
Oh, you
I
guys
see.
wanted me to
Before-
record this?
Oh.
shit.
Okay.
Press the R button.
Do you want me to
Okay.
start over?
The big
Okay.
shiny R.
No, I've been
Count me
rolling. I've
in.
been rolling. Yeah, let's
Count me
go.
in. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're rolling.
A gentle
We're live,
reminder. If you're here live, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you know when we do go live, which is the same time every week, but whatever. If you're watching this later on either a Diet CultPop or on the Young Jung channel or whatever, do that also.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, say, hey, what's up?
Do all the things.
We love a little back and forth, so pipe up.
Oh, hey,
Also,
shut up.
You can
So- Yeah, no, you're doing great. I was if I don't say it now, I'll forget. So we want to do a cult pop.
Oh, like I wouldn't put that in the script.
Oh shit, go ahead.
No, it's fine. We love a little back and forth.
I underestimated Noel.
Send us emails. So CultPopGo@gmail.com. CultPogo.
What? OGO?
CultPopgo
Nailed it.
at gmail.com. CultPopGo. We want to do a all-male episode.
All mailbag.
So it does not have to be topic
Does that
specific.
mean I can't be here?
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
a genderless
How can you tell the
mailbag.
difference between a plane and a mail plane? The balls. Anyway, it's from Three Amigos.
Oh,
87. I say too much, but we want to do a full
mailbag.
correspondence episode. Yeah.
I get it now.
Sorry, I mansplained that.
I just learned what email was, everybody. Noel taught me.
Whoa.
Good job. So yeah, we want to talk about everything that you guys want to talk about, not just like specific questions, but I don't know. Do you want dating advice? What's your favorite color? Favorite movie, TV show, comic book, death on screen?
Ask
Anything.
Noel how he picks out the most delicious apples.
You want to talk about produce? Let's talk about produce.
Talk about your favorite Twilight book.
Or your favorite
And
Twilight
movie.
book. Like,
If they're the same.
we would love more correspondence and interaction with you guys. And the best way to do that is to literally build an entire episode around it. So hit us up.
Please don't make us sit here in silence by not writing in.
That'd be a
Is that even possible?
I was gonna say,
for us
we
to
can't
sit
do
in
it.
silence? My goodness. But so let's just get to it. Hey,
Can we start rolling?
yeah, we're rolling now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Rolling.
Hey, JD,
Hey, hi.
would you be able to ask Alice what she was doing this week?
Hey, Alice. I was just looking at you and thinking some things, and one of those things was, what was popping for you this week?
I read the new Hunger Games book that I was really excited that I bought on the last episode. I finally read it, and it took me 3 days to read, and it's fantastic, but absolutely devastating.
Oh.
What time is it? 2 hours ago? I was 2.5 hours, or an hour and a half ago, I was crying on my apartment floor reading this book. It was brutal, but so good.
I read books like my son, like this on your belly with like your feet
Dangling.
just
but
kicking.
I'm also just sobbing.
but also about
like openly weeping.
I picture like a 1950s young girl on her bed.
Like Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. So if anybody doesn't know, this is a Hunger Games prequel. It's the second Hunger Games prequel, 5th book overall. This takes place during the 50th Hunger Games, the second quarter quell. And it's Haymitch's Games, who is the mentor in the Hunger Games. You know him as
Spoilers?
Woody Harrelson. What? No.
Because he doesn't die.
No, it's brutal. There's hints in the original series so we meet him as a drunk who is just numb to everything. Doesn't seem like he cares about much. You grow to love him, and he comes to be a more likable character throughout the series. This book you find out why he's as messed up as he is, and I knew going in it was going to be brutal, and they like made it 10 times worse. Suzanne Collins destroyed me. It was
You're welcome.
It was brutal. But I do recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's a fantastic dystopian book. Yeah.
That's such a good sentence.
Fantastic dystopian book if you're into that.
My favorite awful.
It's so devastating.
I love that show.
I was texting my sister because she read it this weekend too, and she finished it. And I literally texted her a picture of me just sobbing on the floor when I finished. I was like, I finished the book, and now I don't know what to do with myself.
So this is the sequel. This is a prequel sequel.
Yes.
How was the first prequel?
So good too.
Was it as It's not as devastating, obviously.
Still a little devastating, but that's from the point of view of President Snow. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie came out 2023, I think. It was also very good.
End of 2023. Yeah, it was like Christmas
End of
of that year.
Yeah,
Who played
I
him?
went. Tom
Who's Tom Blythe?
Nobody.
Okay, cool.
Nobody you know.
He's
right?
great.
Love that guy.
He was great.
Yeah. He's a fave.
And Rachel
Donald
Ziegler
Sutherland.
was the girl who
you mean
got
Snow White?
picked. What? Yeah, she's
Oh,
Snow White
Snow
now,
White.
but
Oh, that poor
she's
kid.
Lucy Gray Baird in that story and has
Okay.
President Snow. He's not president yet. He's just a student who has to mentor her through her games, and it's very interesting. But because it's from his point of view, it's a little less emotional.
Should we? should we watch these movies after Twilight?
mean-
Oh,
I'm next.
Lose my mind. But
We're
you-
doing
what
Mission
do you do?
Impossible. We're doing Twilight.
But what do you want to do?
I haven't figured it out yet. Shut up.
Yeah.
when it's my turn, we're
lot
gonna
of
do
pressure.
Hunger Games again.
I mean, I
Brutal. But this movie, they're already when they announced the book, they also announced a movie same day. So movie comes out November 2026. They don't have the cast announced yet, but I am very, very excited. Just fantastic book. It ties very well into the prequel and the original trilogy.
Long,
Okay.
How long after the original, the first prequel book is this one taking?
So the first prequel book is the 10th Hunger Games. This is the 50th, so 40 years.
Oh, okay.
And then that's 24 years. Katniss's Hunger Games is the 74th Hunger Games. And then, spoiler alert, Catching Fire, she's in the 75th Hunger Games, which is the third quarter quell. So every 25 years, they do something even more devastating than having a Hunger Games in general. So for the 75th, as anybody knows who watched the Hunger Games,
You got to go hard for the anniversaries.
Oh yeah.
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 They pick from the existing victors, and then for Hamish's games, the 50th, they picked twice as many victors, so they picked 2 boys and 2 girls from each district. So
Yo.
he had to witness and kill like twice as many people, and it's
Sick.
so
It's so dope.
oh my god! And they get into the whole propaganda and how it's stitched together to make him look like he's not doing what he was actually doing, and it's so good. But
So
sad.
The Birdies and Snakes is basically standalone. as a
Could be.
movie?
So it could be, yeah.
Because I mean, I know that like, oh, the world keeps spinning, and then here's 20 or 40 years later. But as a movie, it's
The
no
Songbirds and Snakes. It could.
cliffhanger. There's no.
There's an unanswered question at the end, but it's meant to be ambiguous. It's like I'll explain later if you really want to know. But
Actually,
see
I
it.
remember quite
I'll see
enjoying both the novels and the. I
they're
remember.
so good.
Yeah, the novels.
so good.
I remember crying on my couch.
Yeah,
There was a cat scene.
yeah,
And I texted a bunch of my friends, and they were all like, "Got to the cat scene, didn't you?" I was like,
yeah. There's a line about
Not Katniss, but yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm very close with my siblings, obviously. So and there's a lot of sibling stuff in these books, and whenever there's something devastating about siblings, I always freak out.
I love you guys.
And then and there was a quote
It's not funny
that I
you said
read.
that.
Like my sister read it last weekend, and I read it today. I read this quote, and it was like, "A sister is someone you fight with and fight for, tooth and nail." And I texted it to my sister, and she's like, "I knew that was gonna make you cry because it happened after like a particularly devastating scene," and I was just like,
That's what happens when you like your sister.
"Yeah,
That's neat.
Yeah."
No segue. Sit in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you need a good cathartic cry like I needed today,
Yeah, that's the one.
yeah,
Nice.
Sunrise and the Reaping, or just
Awesome.
talk to JD.
Sunrise on the Reaping. That what a metal name.
You know what?
I love Sunrise on the
Sunrise
Reaping.
on the Weeping also sounds like a description of your past week.
Listen, what was popping for me were all of my bits. Things were popping out of me. You know how you pour the little droplets of water on a gremlin and they go. Pop, pop, pop? That was me, but out of my butt and mouth.
Who was dropping the water? Was it after midnight?
Yes.
What are the rules?
Yeah.
Aren't we always after midnight?
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
The gremlin rules are bullshit, and they've been messing me up for. First of
We're
all, the
always
biggest thing.
after midnight. There's no parameters for the after midnight part.
Also, you can't get a gremlin wet, otherwise it'll multiply.
Yeah.
That entire town is covered in snow.
Wait.
Snow is wet.
Also,
Spoiler alert.
Also, do they just inherently know time zones?
Yeah. Exactly.
Just their
What if they're on a
their
plane?
biology knows time zones.
Anyway.
Wait, can you keep eating in the air to like beat
That's right.
midnight?
To beat the minutes. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So what was popping for me this week is that I was just awful sick. My poor boy was sick, and then my poor wife was sick, and then they somehow glommed together into a super sickness, and then I had that. And while I was semi-conscious on the couch, my son, we would have up on the TV YouTube, and he's a big Mario fan. And so he found that there's these walkthroughs of Super Mario Land in Japan and also in Florida.
They found him.
They found him.
The algorithm found him.
God damn it. But we just sat there watching people go through Super Mario Land. Have you guys seen Super Mario Land?
Yeah.
I haven't actually.
It's-
Now I need to go watch this walkthrough.
It's
Universal.
It's baller. It's off the chain. It's off the hizzy and off the hook. It's all of those things.
Never found it older, has he?
Yeah, right. He's It's fantastic. I really want to go. It seems very expensive. But as soon as you walk in, it's so bright and colorful and glorious, and it looks like you walked into Super Mario World.
That's
It's so cool. Dylan, have you seen this?
My brother would love that.
I have not. It sounds magical.
It is.
so
It does.
It opened in Tokyo first,
Yeah.
and now it's opening up this year in Universal. They do their what is it, the
Soft open.
what's the new Universal theme park? It's like 5 portals or
I've
yeah.
never been to Disney World. I have no.
I said
fucking clue.
Universal.
Isn't that the same thing?
No,
No.
you're so
Visual
neighbors.
Marshmallow says, no, those are some 2001 description words right there.
You're
welcome.
too old for old man Terry. That's what he's basically fronting on you.
Oh, but wait, Terry's a big Mario guy.
Yeah.
Terry, have you seen Super Mario World? Have you gone?
Hey, when are we going to Orlando?
Will you
Terry?
take us? Will Young Chuck take us? We'll make videos about it. We'll do a whole podstravaganza.
Vicious Marshmallow leaves the
It's
chat.
like-
Just like, goodbye.
New DM, who this?
Yeah.
Or new
2001
user, who this?
description words,
yeah.
yeah. So
they're,
anyway.
they're opening up this year. I mean, my wife and I have talked about wanting to go, like maybe
God.
sometime next year. Yeah, there's like a Universal Monsters World. It's 5 lands, like worlds of adventure.
Like Dracula and the Mummy and
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, like a whole world of that. Super Mario, Harry Potter,
Eh.
something else and something else.
Well, there's also Donkey Kong Country, which is part of
That's part
Super Mario
that's part of the
Land.
Nintendo world.
But God damn. It's all the food looks ridiculous. Some of it looks ridiculous delicious.
You get a little wristband, John.
Yes.
And you walk around
You
and
go
hit the
ba-ding,
buttons.
ba-ding, ba-ding. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. And you can like find things. Oh, it's awesome. The one thing is that a lot of it is color coded food. So they will just like a Mario. It's a Mario pancake sandwich, and it's a red Mario hat. And then there's jelly and whipped cream and strawberries and little sprinkle stars.
Epic Universe.
Delightful. What's Epic Universe?
The
Whatever.
Is that a
portals.
Scott Pilgrim world?
No.
No, the
That'd be I know.
No one
Portals.
would want. No one
know.
would go.
Yeah.
No one saw the movie.
It's just like, oh, we want to date a high schooler. And then the Luigi one is green and then cream and whipped cream and then like grapes. And I don't know what it is about grapes, but like I don't want grapes on my treat. Right? Dylan's shaking his head with the face.
Grapes
right?
are a treat on their own.
Right.
Yeah, but
It just
like,
feels
like,
weird.
Yeah,
I
like
will eat-
strawberries or something. That's different.
Strawberries you get with Mario. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luigi, and then the Luigi burger, you get a side of
Yeah.
pickles and olive.
Honestly.
Well, why not put pickles on the burger?
Shh.
Huh? What?
Shut up.
Shut up.
Stop
Oh,
asking
okay.
questions.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I have no answers for you. I'm sorry.
Answer.
Universal Studios Florida Epic Universe opens up May 22nd, 2025. The 5 fully immersive worlds that are accessible via portals.
Oh.
I think they're just walkways, but whatever.
Honestly, yes, we can all go. Super Nintendo World will develop into 5 lands. 2 have been announced so far with the Mario and Donkey Kong. I believe Zelda is next, and Metroid was mentioned.
Oh, Metroid would be so dope. Also scary. Anyway,
the last one's
five,
Duck Hunt.
The 5 main,
You just murder animals.
or you're the animal.
Oh yeah, they're just trying to shoot.
I mean,
you.
it is Florida, right to work or a stand your ground state. So
Oh my God.
we're all going down.
Youch.
Anyway, the Wizarding World of Harry
Sit in
Potter,
that.
Ministry of Magic, Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
Not Mario World, Super
Blah,
Nintendo
blah, blah.
World. How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, Dark Universe,
Kinda
which
cool.
is from the experiments of Dr. Victoria Frankenstein to a shadowy landscape
Oh, whoa.
where monsters roam. Dark Universe is a world of myth and magic. And Celestial Park, which is the lush green world where thrills, entertainment, dining, and shop. It's the fucking shops.
Okay, thank you.
It's the shop.
Thank you. I was
The
like,
shit in the middle that's like
Centennials from
that's
Marvel?
like, hey, we don't have a theme, but there's more park.
The
It's like
theme is
it's like
capitalism.
yeah, the
Yeah.
theme is Tomorrowland. Like,
gotcha. And
yeah.
me.
I really thought Universal was like part of Disney World for some
No,
reason. Like
No.
different-
No.
Different park
thing,
entirely.
but
I always
aren't they
liked-
both in Orlando though?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
are. They're
I
neighbors.
used to like Disney World, and then they did Universal, and because I was such a movie kid, like they would have the
Yeah.
Jaws ride and E.T. ride,
Mummy.
and the Mummy.
The mummy ride.
Sure, never. It was
Whoa.
before my time.
After your time.
After my what I meant. Wait, really?
Very.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I went after. I went when there was like an E.T. ride.
It's
It's after your-
like Brendan Fraser's the mummy.
It's after that.
Right.
Okay.
because it was turned into the Transformers roller coaster after that.
Oh, okay.
It didn't exist before. It was the Twister building,
Ah,
which before that was the Ghostbusters show.
gotcha. So yeah, I like to go to Universal because it was all the
I was gonna
movies.
say,
What?
I lived in Orlando.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
He lived there
And also,
in
I
that
don't
building.
know how time works. So anyway, that was what popping for me this week was just being delighted and watching these things with my son, and he just loved it.
I love that.
Oh, are we nervous at all? Should I be nervous at all about these things deteriorating before I can take my son?
No.
I have this idea in my head of like, oh, it's so new and shiny right now, but then people will lose interest and everything will deteriorate and get growed and crusty, and then like all of the character outfits will be covered in vomit. And
Think of how well
booze.
the Super Mario movie did.
Yeah.
They're gonna
That's
keep
true.
cashing in on Nintendo properties. Like I'm sure like a Zelda movie's around the corner.
True.
And like they'll just
Yeah.
build it up.
Duck
There's
Hunt
a
movie.
There's a couple.
Duck on the movie.
There's a couple.
I'd
There's
see
a
it.
couple of things to consider. These parks always refresh themselves. These are IP that will last longer than any of our lifetimes combined.
Wow.
However, that's true.
Yeah.
However, what I will
Specks of
say
wind.
is I've been to both Disney and Universal equal amount of times and a lot. Disney goes out of their way to be fresh and immersive every single day. Universal, it's like maybe 70% there.
Yeah.
They switch things up a lot. They don't hide the seams like other parks do. Will it deteriorate? Probably not. Will it always be the top of the line? Maybe not.
Gotcha.
Like if you went to when they did Islands of Adventure, when it first opened, the Jurassic Park land was just like a trolley thing and a couple of like animatronic dinosaurs to take pictures with. By the time it closed, there was a roller coaster, but they just refurbished an old roller coaster too.
Sure, yeah.
So like it'll be around. You'll be
Gotcha.
fine. Like
Okay,
how old do you think he's gonna be?
I don't know, maybe 4 more years.
4 more
maybe
years?
8.
Oh,
Uh
no, this will be fine.
yeah.
Okay,
It'll still be
cool.
around.
Yeah.
If anything,
then he'll be able to like really appreciate it and
Yeah.
remember
like,
more of
it's
it.
Got to be 8 is probably the youngest for him to actually appreciate
Give it, yeah.
Yeah.
the effort
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you've gone
Yeah.
through. When I would be at the parks and I would see like people with babies and strollers and like 2 and 3 year olds
Yeah.
that don't
I
even
went to
don't even
Disney when I
want
was
to hang
3.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just like tired the whole day. It's just like all I can think about the parents is like, you spent thousands of dollars
Yeah.
for your kid to hate the day.
We were visiting family,
No,
but
thank
yeah, I went to Disney when I was 3, and then I went again with my family when I was 22. I went after I graduated college. Everybody could go except for my brother. My brother couldn't make it, but I remember we went to Disney and we went on the Peter Pan ride, which apparently I was scared of when I was 3, and apparently I screamed the whole time. And then, so my dad made a joke that was going to happen again, and then we get on the Peter Pan ride, and as we're riding it, something happened, and like the boat that I'm floating in was tilted at a weird angle, and it was me and my sister, and I screamed when it tilted at a weird angle, and my dad from a few boats back goes, "Was that Alice?" I'm like, yeah, and he's like, "That's amazing."
I like to think that building
Still
has
screaming.
memories and was after you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Jumping in the chat, Vicious Marshmallow keeps jumping in. Yes, there was a Brendan Fraser mummy ride. It was a dark roller coaster, not unlike Space Mountain, and now
Brendan
it's a
Fraser
Transformers
themed? That's
roller coaster.
awesome.
Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser themed. Yeah,
Yeah. Like the end's like the whale.
Amazing. Well
Just
done.
him there in character.
Just saying goodbye. Thanks.
Christopher St. Saucy Goodnight mentioned March Madness had to wait. Yeah, do you
Scream March.
Scream March Madness? Maybe first of all, doesn't have to be March. Second of all, we've got stacked shows and schedules to get to them. I'm sorry, but we will still do that. That's a great
Just
idea.
enjoy
If
the
anything,
thing.
no, we shouldn't do anything Scream until the new one's about to come out, right? Like, wasn't that supposed to be in February or?
Next February on his birthday.
On my birthday?
Yeah,
we should do.
February
We
30th.
should
Scream?
do a lead up to that or something, not necessarily just.
Yeah.
Like, right
Aw,
away. Yeah.
that's nice
Yeah.
of Scream.
That's how I remember what date it comes out. I was like, this is JD's birthday. I'm going to remember this.
What's that, Dylan?
Is that how they know?
I know. How did Scream know? Thank you so much, Scream. Hey,
they delayed it
Noel,
on purpose. Yeah.
what was popping for you this week?
Other things, but I think it would be more fun to talk about a live stream that happened today. I don't know if anybody else watched this. I was telling Dylan.
I
about
hate
it
live
beforehand.
streams
So Marvel
and sisters.
Marvel Studios Marvel Studios did a 5.5 hour live stream where they revealed the seemingly full cast, or at least announced cast of the next Avengers movie.
Sweet.
5.5 hours.
Which one? What?
It was 5.5 hours long.
Oh, they're saying the movie's 5.5 hours.
I mean,
Honestly.
which one's the next Avengers movie?
The amount Doomsday.
Cool.
The amount of cast, it could potentially be about 5.5 hours long.
Okay.
But so before I get to the cast, I kind of want to talk about the live stream itself. I had it on in the background for a little while, but then would leave and come back. A lot of people were complaining like, this is stupid. All the live stream was, if you haven't seen it, was director's chairs with cast members' names on the back of them. It would zoom in on a chair with the name. 10 to 12 minutes later, the camera would move to the next chair, and it would just stay on that one and then move to the next one and stay on that one. And it was like ambient noise for 5 hours that would sometimes there would be little music cues. You would hear the ambient noises of a studio of like bells and somebody moving a chair around or a studio door opening. But that's all it was for 5 hours. Every time I checked in, over 150,000 people were watching it live. So a lot of people online were complaining like, oh, this...
Mother Hubbard. Sorry. I already silenced it.
No, you didn't.
Clearly. All right, you called me out there. I thought I did. But it's to the contrary.
Yeah.
I fingered the knob.
Stop trying to gaslight me about your phone. First, I thought they were complaining about like, this is so lazy. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
Sure. But
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
but it's also brilliant as hell.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
fact
it's
that they got
fun.
hundreds of thousands of people to like slowly watch a reveal on their...
With their Alice arms up.
yeah.
The entire time.
And-
It really works your shoulders. Make sure you're really hunched. It's really good for
Yeah.
your joints.
Think about it. Like on TikTok and stuff, you can't keep people's attention for 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Marvel Studios had hundreds of thousands of people watching for 5.5 hours all day ambiently. And I thought that was kind of really cool.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty
That's
dope.
some fun trolling.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool too. And then, they released the names in no discernible order.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of fun. Did you see any of them yet? A little
Nope.
bit here and there? Did you see any? You did see some? No?
Nope.
All right. So I will tell you, this is the
Can
order.
we do it faster than 5.5 hours?
No.
Cool.
He's
Real-
going to
real
say
time.
a name, and we're just going to stare in the camera.
For 12 minutes. Buckle in, Dylan. so
Click it or ticket, bitch.
this is their the actor's name and who I assume they're playing based off of what they were doing before, because all it showed was the actor's name. So the first one revealed was Chris Hemsworth, Thor,
I know him.
Vanessa Kirby, Invisible Woman, Anthony Mackie, Captain America, Sebastian Stan, Winter Soldier.
Alan Cumming.
Stop it in there. Stop it. He doesn't know yet.
Vicious Marshmallow. Spoiler.
Letitia Wright is Black Panther. Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd's was a little chair. Like they moved down.
Okay.
That's worth 5.5
I
hours.
love it.
Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent John Walker.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Tanak Huerta Muerha. Namor.
Oh, Namor. Great.
Ebon Moss Backrack. The Thing. Simu Liu. Shang-Chi.
Wait, what's the thing's name?
Ebon Moss Backrack.
I never knew that was his full name. Holy shit.
Yeah. Cousin Richie.
Yeah.
Florence Pugh. Yelena Belova. And this is where it gets weird. Kelsey Grammer.
No.
Beast.
No, yeah, no, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We already saw him, right?
Yeah, but he's going to
At
be
the
in
end of
this
Marvels. Yeah.
one. Lewis Pullman, whose character hasn't even premiered yet in the Thunderbolts.
Oh, I know who that is.
Danny Ramirez, Falcon. Joseph Quinn, Human Torch. David Harbour, Red Guardian. Winston Duke, M'Baku.
Nice. He's so good.
Hannah John Kamen, Ghost from...
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish, they should have at least kept those names out because now we don't know what's going to happen to those characters in Thunderbolts.
Or this is all a ruse. Who I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Or
Russo.
Or a multiverse. Like, who knows?
That's true.
Tom Hiddleston is back as Loki.
Oh. He just had such a great dispatch in the show. But I do love him.
Hey,
Of course, so did
Whatever.
Robert Downey Jr., so fuck me.
Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Alan Cumming.
Oh,
Hey,
he was right.
Rebecca Romaine,
Nice.
Oh, my God.
Mystique.
James Marsden,
Okay. Oh,
your boy, Channing Tatum.
goodness.
I loved
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Channing Tatum.
Tatum's Gambit's in. I'm
And
in.
the last two revealed were Pedro Pascal as Mr.
Mandalorian.
Fantastic. Yeah, as,
Oh, right.
as Grogu Daddy.
Yeah.
Grogu Zaddy. I don't know. And then We're all the way at the like. There's 26 fucking chairs all in a row. One continuous camera shot. The studio bay door is open. You can't see, but someone's walking in, and he comes and sits down. It's Robert Downey Jr. In his chair, and then they bounce. That's it. That's the whole cast.
Okay.
So you seem to
Did he
not give a
sit there
shit
for
that,
12 minutes?
Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie.
I mean,
What are your
it's
thoughts
called
about that?
Doomsday, and he already did a big reveal that he's Doom.
Yeah.
So wait, what?
So you
what's
hate the
your question?
idea, or
Oh, I'm sorry. We're just going to discuss
a little
that.
bit.
I don't care.
feel
To
the same way.
me, to me, I felt like they were I feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe has come to terms with the fact that it is not performing the way that it was hoping to perform at the end of Endgame. And this Robert Downey Jr. tactic feels like a way to get butts back in seats and get people more excited again. And I also think that landed like a wet fart for not just me, but I'm surprised the amount of people who are just like, really? Even quote unquote normies who are just like, they don't really know the ins and outs and the whatnots. They're just like, oh no. Okay. Why? Great. So,
my normie experience was completely different.
Really?
Yes. People gave me the information in excitement. Have you heard? Noel, you like nerdy stuff. Have you heard? Isn't that so cool?
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys agree with me? I don't. It reeks of desperation.
So bad faith, desperation. In good faith,
Yes. Let's try that.
an actor who has no reason to bother because he's richer than God, just won an Oscar, somehow found this to be a fun idea.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Sure.
Surprise me. I don't care. Like I genuinely have no like emotional investment so much as you want to make this swing, hit a triple at least. Like go for it. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't always subscribe. I know that like it's a money making business, but I don't always subscribe to we're creatively bankrupt. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I am not in every fucking meeting that decides all this stuff. So I just like And I also usually bristle against everyone online that knows everything. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
You know me. I'm not that guy.
No, I know you're not. But that's like those are the responses I'll see. Like this the same shit with like everything that's happening with the Snow White movie. Like, guys, you don't know shit. Like it's
I have not been online.
like,
I'm assuming everyone's mad because she's not white.
not white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alice. How do you feel about our
Yeah,
DJ?
I had the same kind of. At first, when I saw the first video where it like was revealed that it was him, I was like, "Oh, okay, they're doing that." So I was like, to have the initial shock, like, "Oh shit." But yeah, then the initial excitement, like, kind of where I was like, "Okay, like, yeah, it could be good." Like, I'm
more excited about most of the other cast.
I'm clearly more excited about James Marsden.
Aren't we all?
He's
There's
like
nothing-
one of my first memorable crushes as a Cyclops.
Oh yeah.
in the X-Men movie.
That's
oh, yeah.
adorable.
Oh yeah,
That's horrible.
I was obsessed with him.
I found out my wife is incredibly obsessed with James Marsden as well.
Yeah.
Really?
It's the job.
Yeah, I was watching.
I mean, he
watching,
does. He's got the.
I was passively watching Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Classic.
Passively.
Great movie. Well, I mean, I'm with bated breath.
Yeah. With passive
He
breath.
was also watching it just for James Marsden.
But yeah, she was just like, like he just doesn't age. I was like, yes, he does age. He just ages so well.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then she goes off her own little tangent about like James Marsden and Devon Sawa. I'm like, I did not know you had these speeds.
Now Devon
Good for
Sawa. Yeah.
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 No,
I got me a nerd crush on Devon Sawa.
Don't
for
disagree
sure.
whatsoever. It's just like you've never mentioned James Marsden before. What else are you hiding from me?
Our marriage is a sham.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing but lies.
My takeaway from this lovely presentation that you've put together, thank you so much walking us through that, is
the
that
whole show.
nothing here has been. Thank you. Good night. Nothing here has been
No.
a surprise.
No, I think the bigger story. Well, I mean, all of the X-Men characters, I think, are a surprise.
Not to me.
Ian McKellen, Nightcrawler, and Mystique.
Nice. Oh, I'm glad you're surprised.
Yeah.
Just because they have been been doing this in the post-credit sequences and in Multiverse of Madness. It's been like 5 years now,
only
hasn't it?
two of them. The fact that
And like the
Alan
last time,
Cumming is back and James Marsden, I think, is kind of cool.
It's cool, but it's also like, oh, okay, it's that X-Men group that we know is going to be coming back.
Yeah, that old one, which is
Yeah,
cool. And then Channing Tatum, you seem to be excited about.
I forgot about Channing Tatum. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say that. I'm excited about Channing Tatum.
I'm excited
That's
about
cool.
the memes after.
Oh yeah.
Really quick, we'll jump into the chat. Pink had mentioned an email episode. I've been sitting on a long email that I haven't sent yet because it's personal opinion breakdown of a franchise, and I don't expect anyone to care. Just remember, you asked for it.
I care.
We begged for it.
Let's friggin' go.
Yeah. I care very much, Pink.
Somebody's Robert Frowny Jr. That's you.
Robert Frowny Jr.
Pink
I miss
mentioned
you, Terry.
she has only also seen skeptical responses to Downey coming back. I don't know, like I felt this skepticalness, but
Skepticity?
everyone normie in my life was just like, "Hey, did you hear? Isn't that cool?" And they were like, who are these other directors? I was like, oh, those are the guys that did these Marvel movies, and they got more excited. Yeah. Meanwhile, they haven't had a good movie since.
Dude, that's another thing. All the Russo movies post Endgame have been.
You know what though? Michael Jordan was one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Oh, I'm like Michael B. Jordan. Thank you.
No,
okay, Michael Jordan.
And then he went to play baseball for a season.
Yeah,
and he was fine.
Yeah.
Then he went back to basketball and he crushed again.
Great.
Looney Tunes got
and then
involved.
Looney Tunes got him. But I'm just saying, like, maybe this is their lane.
Great.
And they're going to crush it.
Right.
And then Vicious Marshmallow, I truly believe that Downey is not the true Doom and that his Oppenheimer co-star Cillian Murphy will step in and kill him as the real Doom. Maybe not, but whatever, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, the second movie, The Secret Wars, is going to be a battle world patchwork bullshit. So all bets are off. Who cares?
I want to be clear.
I
want to be clear. We're talking about the negativity online regards to Marvel and literally anything. So I'm not that far down the rabbit hole of Marvel. I still enjoy the vast majority of them to one extent or another, and I am cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like getting, it used to be in a like, oh my, what? Oh my God, yes, I can't wait. And now I'm just kind of like, that sounds good. Let's see how that goes.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, I just said I'm not gonna. It's fine.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
Too late.
That's gross.
It's doing it.
Just from you.
Anyway, Dylan's doing it.
Yeah.
How come he's allowed to do it?
I mean, he's good at it.
He's cut the holes in his shirts.
Yeah, because he's ready for it all the time. It's part of his thing.
The Regina George.
It's like that guy from the Mad Max Furiosa.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
Yeah. But that's
yeah, don't steal my thing, man.
That's right. Anyway.
But anyway, we're here tonight for a different reason, a specific reason, an impossible reason.
Mission? Oh.
No, just a
mission.
More of a task.
Okay.
It's a thing.
So this is where we edit into the show. Thank you for joining us on our next installment of Missions Probable, like CultPop podcast live stream extravaganza event of epic proportions that can't be rivaled by any other franchise in the history of film and audience capture of our United States and worldwide global. Okay.
Keep going.
Tonight we're going to talk about ad nauseum, Mission Impossible, Impossible Ghost Protocol, which is the fourth installment in the film series, came out in 2011, written by Josh Applebaum and Andre Nemec, directed by Brad Bird. We'll get to it.
Brad Bird.
Starring Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, Simon Pegg, and Ving Rhames for a scene.
Loved it.
So, real quick, I put on Wayne's World last night just to get the.
That's where I
don't own a gun.
Let alone multiple guns to facilitate a gun rack.
Yeah, so good. Anyway, go. Can I do this part?
Synopsis, go.
Blamed for a terrorist attack on the Kremlin, Ethan Hunt and the entire IMF agency are disavowed by the U.S. government again, while the president initiates the Ghost Protocol. Forced to go off the grid, left without resources or backup, Hunt must somehow clear the agency's name and prevent another attack. Complicating matters even more, Ethan must undertake the impossible mission with a group of fellow IMF fugitives whose actual motives are suspect.
That's right. They are suspect. So,
Thanks.
This is a very well-received fourth installment of a franchise. It was released twice.
What?
December 16th, 2011, and then a week later, December 21st, 2011. It was released exclusively in IMAX cinemas for 1 week before a wide release.
I see.
And we will get to why later. Despite Mission Impossible 3 earning less than other Mission Impossible movies
Which is stupid.
at the box office, its critical response was much better than its predecessors, like exponentially much better. So Paramount was down to continue the film series with that goodwill. Development began in earnest in August 2009. I think Part 3 came out in 2008, something like that. Yeah. Under the partnership of Bad Robot now, which was J.J. Abrams, and Skydance, Tom Cruise. So now J.J. Abrams is a part of all things Mission Impossible and will going forward. Development started with him set to direct. He brought on writers Josh Applebaum and Andre Nemec, who were hired to develop the story at that time. They were only responsible for Alias at that point. They are not. This was their first feature credits.
Did you finish your watch through?
Yeah.
Of Alias?
Yeah.
Does it hold up?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of weak spots of like again, but other than that, yeah, it holds
I
up.
really want to rewatch that.
Due to commitments during development, though, J.J. Abrams had to drop out of directing, and those developments are over the course of 2009 and 2011, when this movie actually came out. J.J. Abrams was responsible for Lost, Fringe, the first Star Trek movie, and Super 8.
Hold up.
All those things happened in these 4 years.
Who's the lead character of Fringe?
Joshua Jackson.
The woman.
Olivia. Olive is her name. Anna Torv.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Why?
I was thinking Carrie Coon for some reason.
That's absolutely not.
I don't know.
You are an idiot for thinking so, because they are two totally different people.
Maybe I'm right. Hey, Carls. He says hi. Continue.
Love that you being proven wrong. Maybe I'm right.
So at this
Maybe I did put my phone on silent. Maybe I'm right.
Shots fired! Eat your fucking apple. You're fine. think. Sklurts. Anyway.
Sorry.
So hired to direct is celebrated director Brad Bird.
Bird?
Making his first live action feature. And he's only made one other since. Now, if you're not familiar with Brad Bird, he is responsible for writing and directing The Iron Giant.
Right? That I was right.
I was holding for applause. The Incredibles.
Also that for the Iron Giant.
And probably more popular than both of those combined, Ratatouille.
Is it really? Wait.
No, it's not.
Oh. I don't have my thumb on the pulse of anything. So I wasn't sure if maybe Ratatouille was the most popular, but yeah, okay.
No, this was very
Iron
much
Giant's
I had
much
to
a big
leave the
deal.
theater.
Ratatouille?
No, yeah. I was crying so hard during
Bullshit.
Ratatouille.
When he ate that food and saw his past, who gives a shit? Who cares?
Oh my
Superman. Also, Ving Rhames' greatest role.
As the titular giant.
The titular young man, Hogarth.
Oh, that's what a name. Yeah, Hogarth.
Let's watch that.
You know what? Just put it on. Hey, Dylan, can you just pull it up on the
Guys, I
put it on
just cried.
big screen?
Can you put it on the extra screen and I'll just keep going while we weep to
I just
Iron
cried
Giant?
already.
Anyone that hasn't seen Iron Giant, just do yourself a favor and watch it.
I
But
can't believe
after
they
we're
haven't
done.
remade it. Also, thank God they haven't remade it.
It's pretty evergreen, pretty timeless.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
I
Anyway.
mean, so are most of the remakes. I mean, the things that they've remade.
In addition to returning cast, which at this point is
Tom Cruise.
only Tom Cruise and Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames for us scene.
They cast Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, Josh Holloway, and Leah Sado joined the production. Principal photography took place October 2010 to March 19th, 2011, and then came out the subsequent December.
Twice.
They went big. Budapest, they shot on location. Budapest, Mumbai, Prague, Moscow, Vancouver, Bangalore, Chennai, and Dubai. Only
Damn.
2 things were done on sets in London. It was basically the train, when they were inside the train, and they built that 6-story car park from scratch in the studio.
No way.
Yeah, like it's an actual building, but they just recreated it completely in studio. Other than that, this movie is almost exclusively on location, which is really impressive.
Where in the United States are those places?
Mostly in Montana.
Okay, so I thought.
Yeah, mostly Montana.
Mumbai, Montana.
So the film was partially shot with IMAX cameras. This was still very new at the time, which made up for approximately 30 minutes of the runtime. Bird insisted that certain scenes be shot in IMAX as opposed to 3D, which was super popular at the time too. Like every movie was 3D
I
or
remember that time.
post-converted in 3D.
Hated
whether it was
it.
supposed to be or not, looked like shit.
Yes.
So he fought for IMAX over 3D for greater viewer immersion. He had a good quote at the time. This is Brad Bird talking. So I'm gonna do my Brad Bird voice. I don't know if you guys have heard Brad Bird talk, but this is
I'm about to.
a dead set impression. I've been practicing it. When we first shot looking at you're gonna
It's like he's
I'm
here.
gonna get
Where'd Noel go?
I'm gonna get broken out of character.
Noel
Stop it. Stop it.
Okay.
I gotta recapture it.
Reset.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
When we were first looking at the image of Tom climbing the Burj in long shots, we could not only see the traffic and the reflections when he presses down on the glass, but you can actually see the glass warp slightly because of the pressure of his hand. You would never see that on 35 millimeter or 3D. The fact that the screen fills your vision and is super sharp seems more lifelike. So I want to take a diversion, and this
Can you
is
drop the Brad Bird now? It's getting annoying.
Oh, sorry. I want to divert for a second, and this is inspired by Pink. Last time when we were talking about cameras, I want to talk really quickly about IMAX cameras.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I don't know anything about them.
So
They're big.
IMAX was developed, blah, 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 really big. Great. I want to talk about more specifically how they started incorporating it into entertainment, because it was just a gimmick for a little while, like only at museums or large enough screens.
Right.
And the films themselves were only like 15 to 30 minutes long tops, because the camera is so big and so loud. You can't record dialogue very well because it's louder than that. You can't move it around anywhere. No, you fools. It is a massive thing. So it would be too cost prohibitive to do it or for a normal production. So the earliest attempts at presenting mainstream entertainment in IMAX was formats like live concerts. So like Rolling Stones, Live at the Max, or educational stuff like T-Rex Back to Cretaceous or Haunted Castle. And there were only like 30 or 40 IMAX cinemas in the like real IMAX theaters. So it was cost prohibitive to even bother for studios to have IMAX films, or at least true IMAX films.
So I'm sorry, just real quick. Oh, you didn't grow up here. We had like this
No, it's the Franklin.
Franklin Institute.
Yeah, that's a real IMAX.
Right, and it's like
Yeah,
actually like is it a full dome?
it's a quarter dome.
Quarter dome? Because I remember going to that at one point and then being excited like, oh, they're gonna make movies this way, and then I went to go see the movies and I was like, this ain't that.
Where did you go see Oppenheimer with Costa?
Warrington. We went to Warrington.
Was that an IMAX?
That's a gorgeous theater.
It's an IMAX theater. It's not an IMAX camera.
Got it. Okay.
Or projector.
Projector. Okay.
There's the only IMAX projector in this state is King of Prussia.
Okay.
And the nearest one after that is Times Square, New York, or like in New York.
Yeah. Okay.
KOP's pretty good. Yeah.
KOP is
Been there.
Gorgeous.
It's honestly, that entire theater can fall apart. They will still put money into that IMAX because the building was built around it. The projector is so big you can't take it out. Yeah,
That's neat. Go on, continue.
but anyway, the first in 2000, Disney was the first studio to produce a full-length animated feature in IMAX format, exclusively in IMAX format, and that was Fantasia 2000.
Oh.
It did get released in other theaters, but
Oh, I didn't know that was an IMAX, John.
there were so few IMAX theaters that it was just kind of like a novelty, that it was an actual moneymaker. It wasn't until, I want to say 2008-ish with The Dark Knight, where
I was about to say that. The whoop. And
up
then the
until
whoop.
then, movies were reformatted into the IMAX display. That was called DMR, Digital Media Remastering. So what they would do is they would just take the matte format or the matte framing and just blow it up. Or the wide framing and just blow it up. So you'd see a large presentation, but it wasn't IMAX. It's not IMAX. When you film in IMAX, it's completely different and it's just crazy. I've got the dimensions later.
Ooh. More about it. It's crazy.
Nolan, Christopher Nolan, being the freak that he is about formats, was very adamant about incorporating true IMAX into filming. His whole thing, there's a quote, I lost it. There's a quote he has of like, if you could take an IMAX camera into space to do a little movie, there's no reason why we can't take it on a production. So he would, because they were doing those like those
I
movies in
understand.
museums
It's like
of like
space is so
actual.
big, though.
They were doing those.
Plenty of room for an IMAX camera in space.
Yeah, you'd have those.
Obviously.
You had those shuttle movies or those
So much
like
room for activities.
submarine movies and stuff. He's like, if you can pull that shit off,
Yeah.
we can pull it off over here. It's just going to take a little extra work.
Some finagling.
So, probably the biggest, most popular release up until that point was The Dark Knight, which only had about 22 to 25 minutes of IMAX footage.
Was it Japan scene or something?
It was the Japan scene, the opening scene, and the car chase in Chicago, lower and upper Wabash.
What a good movie.
So that was basically the gold standard of we could pull this shit off.
Yeah.
It was very, very hard to do. Also, it required switching formats, which people were afraid to do. So if you're watching a movie in true IMAX, it is 1.38, which is basically this.
Yeah.
When you're watching a movie on TV or on television, it's this. It's a letterbox versus a wide frame. So for the stuff that's true IMAX, the screen would just like slowly get bigger and wider and you'd be immersed, which was the entirety of Oppenheimer. The first full, wait, no, is it? But it's the first true IMAX movie. And so they would just switch in aspect ratios. So this is one of the movies where they pulled that off, where they were able to exclusively do it in IMAX theaters in 138 for the sequences, specifically the Burj.
Apparently it was Tiger Child.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I have that on here too. I skipped it.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 30-minute short film. I'm talking about Hollywood
I
productions.
understand that.
Yeah. So we have some really cool stuff in here about the aspect ratios. Use in productions. Although Fantasia, while unveiling the DMR process, Warner Brothers the DMR process, which is the digital, bigger and smaller, Warner Brothers especially embraced the format beginning in 2003 with the 2 Matrix sequels. That was just blowing them up.
Oh, okay.
Prisoner of Azkaban in 2004, just blowing it up.
Oh, yes.
Robert Zemeckis motion capture in IMAX 3D, Polar Express, just blowing it up. It wasn't until 2009 Star Trek by J.J. Abrams, blowing it up. It wasn't until 2008 that they did that. But they also started playing with post-conversion. So James Cameron's Titanic was restored and re-released in theaters, where they specifically made an open matte version for IMAX. So they took the widescreen movie, took the original master of the open matte, because when you're filming it, like, you know, the camera just kind of frames this, but the film is recording open matte. They took that and kind of made a new version for full IMAX screens, which was really cool.
That was really cool.
But in 2011 was around the time that we can pull this off. And it was in 2015 when it got real big, when Marvel Studios announced that its next 2 Avengers films, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, would be filmed entirely in IMAX. But what makes it different than Oppenheimer is because it was filmed with the Ares Alexa 65 digital cameras, which is a digital IMAX camera. What Nolan was obsessed with was actually IMAX film. So it is those loud as hell cameras. Most of his movies that are done in IMAX, they have to do like ADR later because you can't get like all the audio in camera and stuff.
So my question about all of this IMAX stuff is really just for the theater experience. Yes? Like there's nothing like if I buy a DVD, a Blu-ray or whatever, or watch it streaming.
Yes and no.
Go on.
Some streaming services and Blu-rays and DVDs now will include the shifting aspect ratio for your television.
Yeah.
Some don't. Some just, so like 2-3 years ago, Disney Plus started giving you the IMAX mode for a lot of their Marvel and Disney movie, or a lot of their Marvel and Star Wars movies, which is that up conversion for certain sequences that are shot in IMAX.
Oh, I see.
It'll, like when you're watching, it'll actually move or be bigger.
Yeah.
Some movies, like this one, will never change. Like on streaming, on disc, they have never released an IMAX mode version of it that shows the full frame. So when you guys were watching it on streaming and you see him step over the ledge out the window, that's an IMAX scene that took the whole frame, and you saw like the cars moving on the street.
I bet that's awesome.
And it was, I did see it in theaters in IMAX, and I was physically sick.
I was going to say that would have made me throw up.
Because I sat close too, which was wrong.
Oh,
but
no.
it was having vertigo in real time. It was actually really
That's
wild.
fun.
It was actually kind of
Yeah.
It was like roller coaster cool. But I thought that was really dope. The idea of this movie and this series, this franchise, keeps kind of trying to push technology forward, and this is a very big. Even though 3 years prior, The Dark Knight successfully did it, they marketed this exclusively for 1 week, having only IMAX screens, and it made $15 to $20 million on just that week in only IMAX screens because it was such a big deal, like showing the studios that it was viably possible, which was really cool.
Oh, fun.
In the middle of we're going to go back to production now. In the middle of production, Cruise brought his own screenwriter in to change things around. The screenwriter...
Did he want to jump off of more buildings and they wouldn't let him?
Screenwriter Christopher McQuarrie, also colloquially known as McQ, was brought in to rewrite the screenplay. Anyone that's not familiar with Christopher McQuarrie, he is responsible for writing The Usual Suspects, Valkyrie, Jack Reacher, Edge of Tomorrow, and from here on ends up writing and directing every other Mission Impossible movie.
No kidding.
Yeah, so he's done 5. He's the only director that's done more than one Mission Impossible movie, and it's 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also wrote Top Gun Maverick, The Mummy, which was terrible.
I still haven't seen it.
The Tom Cruise Mummy.
Yeah.
It's pretty
The
terrible.
Tom Cruise Mummy.
Have
I
you
was
seen that?
like, I thought you meant the Brent. I was
No.
like very
Has
upset.
anyone
No.
here seen the Tom Cruise Mummy?
I went to the theater, but I don't remember most of it.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like so mid.
I find
It's not bad.
Tom
It's not good.
Cruise
It's just mid.
to be such a charming star that I wonder if is it just at least that good because he's in it? Is at least that much good because he's doing that much.
There's some cool sequences in it.
Yeah.
Also, his best friend in the movie is Jake Johnson, who has all the jokes and is pretty funny.
I love Jake Johnson.
New
Nick
girl.
Miller.
Oh yeah,
Miller.
that guy. Yeah.
The GIF king.
Yeah.
I have had full conversations, just back and forth GIFs of Nick Miller and New Girl.
It's most of my brother and I's chat. Nick Miller.
So that's production. Other than that, it went off pretty much without a hitch. The idea of so they restructured the story while in play, but it's kind of normal for a Mission Impossible movie. Like we've got these big stunts, let's just stitch together a story around it.
Yeah.
Apparently, McQuarrie, who's uncredited but officially did work on it,
Rude.
arbitration. His whole thing was it's too complicated. The mystery's too complicated. Make this simple. It's just a terrorist. Stop it.
No.
Yeah. Stop it with the double crossing. It's just bad man blows things up. Stop him.
Give me a real quick rundown. How many Mission Impossibles are there where the IMF?
Impossible Missions Force, for those that don't know.
Sorry, my bad.
I had to explain that to Costa while we
Sorry,
were
guys.
watching.
My bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my
are,
Costa. It was pretty good.
That was really good. Nailed
Hey,
it.
guys.
are disbanded, framed, and on the run, and having to work with nothing. I feel like that's every movie.
Part 1. 2, they're on the level.
Okay.
3, half the movie, he's on the run.
Yeah.
So we'll count that. 4, yes, Ghost Protocol. It's the thing. Rogue Nation, they're on the level.
Okay.
6, without spoiling anything, they're on the level, but there are, in 5 and 6, there are threats to disband the IMF.
Sure.
And they have to work against that pressure.
Yeah.
But it's not you're all disavowed, you crazy
Yeah.
fucks.
You almost disavowed, you crazy fucks. Yeah. Don't you make me disavow you.
7.
I'll turn this disavow around.
I'll turn this IMF around.
I'll turn this clandestine
the one. Thank
clandestine
you.
government organization around if you don't shut up.
I'm not touching you.
7, 8, to be determined. Like
Okay.
7-ish.
Well, don't
Ethan
spoil it.
Ethan is always a rogue, whether
Yeah.
he's in bounds or out of bounds.
he's
He's
roguish.
always a rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's
always
either
a
rogue
cad.
or roguish. Yeah.
Roguish nation.
Silly goofy guy.
So other things that make this film series. Any questions thus far? I feel like I've only been talking.
Oh no, I'm in. It's great.
No, I'm super in. I was
Okay.
very intrigued with the IMAX talk. I had no idea.
I think I botched it. It's so awesome. Like all the technology that goes into these movies is so dope.
Yeah.
I think these movies are also most known for, especially post 3, is the stunts.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
The stunt work. So chief amongst the stunts in this movie is obviously the IMAX sequence, the scaling of the Burj Khalifa building in Dubai, which is still the world's tallest structure at 829.8 meters high. That is a half mile. It's half mile in the sky.
It is 5 feet bigger than the Wiz Khalifa building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 5 though, and it's just 10 at the top. They put a little. You know what they did? They took there's a Wiz Khalifa bobblehead at the very top of the last spire, just like in the wind.
Yeah, it may not be the tallest, but it's the highest.
Yeah. Bam!
Oh!
Dylan brings it home.
Fade to black.
Yeah.
We're out. So of course, Tom Cruise did it himself.
He built it.
Yeah, he did it
He
himself.
built it to climb it.
Yeah, and then
There
jump off.
there are some pretty good videos online of him like practicing and like a lot of the exterior. There's a very famous picture online. I don't know if I forgot to pull it up, Dylan. I don't know if you can find it, of him without his shoes and out of harness, sitting at the top of the spire of this building.
Why?
Just fucking chilling. Because before filming, he was up with the. Tom Cruise is a maniac.
Oh,
and
that's it.
He
That's
was
the
like,
answer.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the short
I'm
answer.
sorry. Duh.
But he is so hands on as a producer. He was just like they were just filming exterior shots. There it is. The second row. Go down. There it is on the far left.
Oh my God.
Well, there he is. Nope,
No,
down,
far left.
Down and left.
One down. There
That's
it
the
is.
one.
That's
Roguish as fuck.
That is him. So they were in a helicopter, scouting shots and doing some like plate shots for wide shots for the whole sequence.
What a piece of shit.
And as the conversation went, he was just like, let's go down there. Yeah. Let me just go down there and take a picture. That's it.
Okay.
It was that simple. He's a weirdo, which is great.
I would be vomiting out of my toes.
There's
I would
a
just
really
be
great-
leaking.
There's also a picture of a couple years ago. Will Smith did the same thing. He also like was put at the top of it and climbed to the top of it and took a picture. I saw somebody put them side to side, and it's just like Tom Cruise without shoes and a t-shirt, like sup.
Yeah.
And Will Smith in like full gear, harnesses, helmet,
Yeah.
a flak suit, just like smiling and holding on, and like. I don't know if this was the effect you
Act
wanted.
natural.
champ. Yeah, there it is. His face just like holding on for dear life.
bravely climbs the tallest building.
That's all. Well, he climbed it though.
I just thought it was funny. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't do it.
No, no.
But seeing the two pictures side to side was actually
It's
pretty
pretty
funny. But yeah, he
That's cute. I like that.
yeah, because Tom Cruise just is
A
Tom
maniac.
Cruise.
Yeah.
So they filmed that whole sequence in multiple segments of him climbing it, scaling it, and doing like a free loop, running across it, and then rappelling down, but forward. What's it called when you rappel forward just with your hand? It's rappelling, but he's
Yeah.
doing it forward and like stopping himself in the front.
That's not belaying.
No, belaying is
Belaying
going
No,
up.
I was thinking belay. I don't know.
Either way, it's like
I boulder.
It's
No harness or anything, but very low.
badass. Yeah, he did that because he's crazy. Other action sequences had their fair share of stunt work, though, that the actor was eager to jump into, such as the automated 6-story car park, which was constructed from scratch on a soundstage and was fully functional.
Wow.
So those were cars, and that was actually all moving and stuff. I loved that sequence.
Yeah.
That sequence was so cool.
Not to yuck anyone's yum, international phallic competition, yum. But those tallest building records are mostly crap. They just take turns installing meaningless wire spires. That is correct.
I'm not sure
This
the
is-
Wiz Khalifa bobblehead is meaningless, but maybe to you.
I actually did Pink. To your point, though, I did look it up, and I think the roof is like 820 something, so it still is the highest structure. It was just like inches as they kept going with other ones. No matter what, it was still ridiculous.
I would throw up. Don't like it.
I understand that like the stunt is very cool. It's not what I remember about them. Like that scene, it's all the drama that's happening inside the hotel.
Yes.
That's the stuff that really captures my imagination and really get my agita pumping, you know?
Yeah.
Him being out doing the Spider-Man on the outside and whoop, my hand doesn't work anymore. Like that's fine. It's good. I understand. I'm wondering like how much of that is real, how much of it isn't real.
That was
but I'm not
stressing
actually,
out 'cause I know he does it. I was like,
yeah.
I think that's also part of it too. Like he's doing it with
Sort of,
harnesses and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it adds some like,
Yeah.
yeah.
like knowing. So the shot that they were talking about before of him, like it's like on some of the covers of the poster of him having the one hand forward and it's nothing but the ground underneath him.
Yeah.
There's a small harness
Yeah.
while he's actually climbing and just posing there. But yeah, like him pressing his hand against the glass, that's completely real and very creepy.
Yeah.
No green screen. Yeah.
like it.
Especially that, like, I think the only thing they green screened was that last jump when he has to
runs.
jump into the window. But other than that, no, he's actually running and everything is, he just stopped.
Also, he broke his ankle in that one, right?
Nope.
No. Oh, what?
His ankle's coming up
Oh,
in another movie.
Oh.
In part 6.
okay.
He broke his ankle in part 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a maniac.
Is this the Mission Impossible equivalent of in Lord of the Rings telling everybody that Viggo Mortensen broke his toe when he kicks the...
I am that annoying.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
when we get to it, I will actually
Sorry, what
show
happened?
you exactly where.
Viggo Mortensen broke his toe. I think it's in Two Towers.
It is when he kicks the helmet.
He kicks the helmet and he lets out like an anguished scream because it's an emotional scene, but it's actually a
toe.
shot because he broke his toe.
My favorite
Wasn't
one
supposed to kick
It's like
it.
a meme when it's like,
Yeah, it's a real helmet. He wasn't supposed to kick it, but he was like prop,
yeah,
Bonk.
it was a real metal helmet. He broke his
basically
toe.
kicking a bowling ball.
one of my favorites is Django Unchained with
The glass.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That guy?
smashing the smashing his cup, and then
Just
just
re-bleeding everywhere.
keep going. I love that. Go on.
Blood.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah. So that was production. Other like stunt work, everything went up. It went off without major hitches to cause any like
For a
concern.
little hitch though.
I mean,
well, Will Smith
the
was there.
normal. Yeah.
It was good. It was a
Will
deep
Smith.
cut.
Will Smith. Oh!
He just got the hitch
I was
reference.
gonna make is comment about him like slapping crew here and there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, yeah, that's
the
better.
hitch.
You go 90%. Let them go 10.
Yeah.
Kevin James, where you been? Away. Yeah, no, mostly without a hitch. Like the troubled production of the first one, the weirdness of the second one. This one was actually smooth comparatively.
Yeah.
Also, too, as we kept going, especially with 6 and 7, nothing is smooth about those productions for the most part, and they get extended because of the pandemic, because of injuries. Because this is probably the last smooth Mission Impossible production.
Oh,
Damn.
I'm intrigued to see.
But they're all bangers. It's fine. So let's talk really quickly. Any quick questions or comments about what
Production?
Yeah, just production.
No.
Okay, so you
I enjoyed it very much.
box office.
Box office.
Box office. So this movie made $209.4 million
That's more than I make.
domestically.
Oh, never mind.
$485.3 million in other countries, totaling $694.7 million. It is the second highest grossing film worldwide
What?
of the Mission Impossible series
Oh. Okay.
thus far.
Okay.
Up until this point, it was the highest grossing Mission Impossible. And it was the 5th highest grossing film of 2011. Home video was released on DVD Blu-ray April 17th, 2012. A full 4 months later, it was in theaters for most of that time, and it didn't come out on video until April, which is so weird now because it's
Yeah.
20 days usually.
Yep.
However,
I love that. I
I
love those
missed that
days.
too. It
Time
was like
to
Like,
such
let
a-
us wait for a thing to come out.
And it was
man.
such a big event when it's like, oh my god, it's coming out! Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I love
Yeah.
that stuff. Wicked just did it successfully. They only just
Yeah.
came on stream. They only just were on streaming this past weekend.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good
Like
for you,
they
Wicked.
extended it. Like, yeah,
Wonderful.
Whatever. Secondary markets are a big deal. However, the disc release did not preserve the IMAX imagery and aspect ratio. Prior Blu-ray disc releases featuring such like The Dark Knight and Tron Legacy, which was also shot partially in IMAX, switched on their disc releases from 2.4 to 178
Yeah.
for sequences. But Mission Impossible decided not to. They just reframed the scene. I went back and because I've seen the movie so many times, I was like, did it? And I didn't know. Maybe they went back and did it. Still in streaming, it is one aspect ratio, and they have yet to release any physical or anything version that has the widescreen, which sucks.
How many times have you seen this Mission Impossible? 4. Ghost Protocol.
Twice in theaters. Over the years, maybe 4 other times.
Which have you seen the most?
Probably 3, maybe 2.
Okay.
I've
Three's
seen
the best one.
I've seen part 6 a lot.
I don't remember.
think-
Which one's that?
I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, part 6. I've seen part 6 maybe as many times as I've seen 3.
6 and 3?
I think 6 and 3 are the best
Wow.
ones, but I won't
All
say
right.
which one is my
Okay,
favorite of the
okay.
two. Yeah, 6 is the one with mustachioed Superman.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. We talked about
Oh,
that.
yeah, I did see that.
That's a damn.
That was a good one.
That's a damn.
That was a good
I
one.
can't wait to talk about that one.
I also have watched that GIF so many times.
There's a movie attached to it. I don't know if you knew that.
Wait, what?
There's
To the GIF?
There's a movie attached to that GIF. The GIF is
It's a gift that keeps giving.
It's in a larger movie.
Wow.
Yeah, a whole movie called Mission Impossible Fallout. Anyway, so some quick critical responses. This movie was very praised, very happy. Everyone loved it.
Sorry, my critical response was going to be, you're doing great. I thought we were supposed to give our critical responses.
Metacritic assigned 73 out of 100 based on 47 critics. Generally favorable reviews. Cinema score in audiences was an A-, which is pretty notable.
Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times, 3.5 out of 4 stars, saying the film is a terrific thriller with action sequences that function as a kind of action poetry.
Action poetry. Wow.
Trade them all. Keep going.
Stephen Whitty of the Star Ledger said the eye candy from high-tech gadgets to gorgeous people
right,
has only been ratcheted up. Oh, he loved it.
He loves Paula Patton.
And so has the excitement. He also gave the film 3.5 out of 4 stars. I'm surprised it wasn't 4. He seemed really excited
Yeah.
about all the pretty things.
Of all the pretty.
Wesley Morris of the Boston Globe also gave it 3 out of 4 stars, saying, in its way, the movie has old Hollywood elegance. The scope and the sets are vast, tall, cavernous, but Bird scales down for spatial intimacy.
That's a wonderful
which is
review.
What you were saying about the whole sequence. Yes,
Yeah.
the big stunt is him outside of the tallest building in the world, scaling it, and with no time having, like, my favorite part of that sequence is it's only half cut, and he has to literally create leverage
Yeah.
and push himself off of a half mile up in the sky
Yeah.
to push through. And he's only got like 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but as that's going on, everything is breaking in the hotel room. Nothing is working, which is the theme of this entire movie. Technology fails you.
That's true. Oh, that's a good point.
Entire movie,
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
keeps breaking.
Yeah.
I also, that fight scene betwixt the two ladies, so good.
Not unlike my favorite acting choice of
Henry Cavill.
he's super handsome.
Henry Cavill.
His name is
James Marsden.
His name is Danny Ocean. George Clooney
yeah.
in From Dusk Till Dawn with the neck
Oh,
switch. Paula Patton getting the okay to go beat the shit out of Lea Seydoux and
Yeah.
ripping her shoes off and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she linebackers and just goes. It's
Yeah.
it's so satisfying.
That's a pulse pounding beating.
But then also Josh Holloway for 2 seconds in this movie. Sawyer from Lost.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Him jumping off the top of the building backwards with the thing blowing up behind him. Such a good shot. There's so many great little one-offs. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It happens.
Philippa Hawker of the Sydney Morning Herald, 3 out of 5 stars. Ludicrously improbable, but also quite fun.
Hey,
that was her. That was me doing her voice.
Owen?
nailed it.
Thank you.
Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly brims with scenes that are exciting and amazing at the same time. They're brought off with such casual aplomb. I like that word.
Casual aplomb.
Aplomb. That they're funny too. Ghost Protocol is fast and explosive, but it's also a supremely clever sleight of hand thriller. Brad Bird, showing an animator's miraculously precise use of visual space, has a playful, screw-tightening ingenuity all his own. Wow.
These are good.
It's a
I like
very,
these.
very, very well-crafted movie.
I need to read more reviews from these folks.
Yeah, right?
Old
These are
school.
delightful.
These are some
I
of my
really
favorite
want to read
reviews.
Steve Whitty. He was real thirsty for
Yeah.
gorgeous,
Them eye
gorgeous
candies.
high tech,
Nope.
the eye candy, tech, and people.
Yeah. So let's talk about our thoughts now. This was not the first time you'd seen this movie, but this was the first time you have seen
Yes,
this movie.
it was.
What did you think? What were your thoughts? What are your feelings? Tell me.
I really, really liked it. I really, really, I loved it. It was just pretty to look at, and like the action sequences, especially knowing that Tom Cruise does them himself.
What did you think about the gorgeous people?
Gorgeous people were gorgeous.
Oh, good. Okay,
Naturally.
cool. Oof.
While I was watching this movie, I remembered what happens after part 3 in regards to his marriage.
That had me on the edge of my
How are you doing
seat.
with that? Like,
Oh my
I didn't want to
God.
spoil anything, how
That
it progresses or not.
Crazy.
Spoilers
So-
for a
Yeah, are
15-year-old
we doing
movie.
reading spoilers now? So the reveal that is it Brant, Jeremy Renner's character,
Yeah.
was on a mission in Croatia and like it went wrong, and then you find out that it was like he was supposed to be keeping Ethan Hunt's wife safe, and then they found parts of her later, and I was like, oh, and Ethan is lying and saying that they separated from everybody. I was like, I gasped. And then at the end it's revealed that she isn't actually dead.
Yeah, I
He
know.
faked her death.
They've done this to me twice. They have hurt me
true.
and torn me apart and put me back together twice
done
with
this.
this same goddamn character.
Fake killed her twice. I
Yeah.
totally.
They fake fridged
I gotta
Michelle
tell you,
Monaghan.
So, favorite part of the third movie, and it was so emotionally resonant and very well done. Watching this in real time in the theaters, and they keep making allusions to, they're not together anymore. She left him, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then you find out the news story. I'm like, they fucking killed her.
Yeah.
After everything we went
After
through, they
everything
killed
we
her.
went
Off screen,
Only
those sons
to
of
fridge her for character development of a character they just introduced. What the?
Yeah.
And
I-
then
it's very
the whole
similar.
thing at the end, I was like, yes. Yeah. Also, too, I didn't know that he was.
alive.
I didn't know he was going to reveal himself to her.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
is. That was so sweet and so.
Yeah.
And like that was a good like. You never have to show up again. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This was a well wrap
Yeah.
up without tying Ethan down to having to start a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed.
She's
that.
great. Yeah.
And Jeremy Renner was a really fun addition to the cast. This
He
is that
was.
period of time when he's just like in everything.
Yeah.
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 I liked he was like an analyst, and
Yeah.
then he like in the fight sequence he like looks at him and he's like, "You're not just an analyst. Like you know what you're doing out here."
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh,
yeah.
are you done?
No,
Any more?
I
Yeah.
loved it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I thought this was really fun. It shies in comparison to part 3.
Shies?
Shies.
The
It's like
delta is that big between your enjoyment of
just
this
a
one and
little
the last one?
guy.
Like Shies to me sounds like this much difference between the two, or is it lower than that? Or, like
All right,
good
keep
pros-
going.
Wait,
Go. No, down.
down?
There. That's it. What's not Shies? How's that? It pales?
this is
It pales in
Pales
comparison.
is worse.
Oh, pales?
Pales in
It's
comparison.
Shies.
Shies is like here. This is more like it has to exist in the shadow of how good the other one was, but still does a
That's
good job.
exactly what I said. Thank you for repeating me.
Well, shit, like it cowers in the corner,
Yeah.
shy from how good the other one was. It
Yeah.
sounds like it's a weak movie.
Yeah. Number 3 was so good, and I had such an emotional response through so many different parts of part 3 that this one was like, oh, okay, that's a cool stunt, and that's cool stuff. Oh, that's a good fight. Oh, they did the thing. I like that. And the stuff with the wife was another one. You mother, I will. Oh no, we're good. All right,
good?
we're good. Okay. What? Oh, we're good. Okay,
Did you kill her? Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a perfectly cromulent mission. Is what I would say.
Mission did it.
Freeze frame that for the end of the show.
I'll get you. Ready? Count me in.
3, 2.
Mission did it.
Oh, Alice, you're supposed to.
sorry.
There you go.
Sorry.
Oh man, now I'm off my whatnots. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
We're forced?
Here's the thing, though. Moving forward with any of these missions, impossible. I am hesitant to think that any of them will blow me away more than Mission Impossible 3. I love Mission Impossible 1 on our rewatch. I was flabbergasted by how good it was. 2 is just a crazy bombast, but fun in its own right. And then 3 was just such an emotional experience. And that's really how I determine my rankings of movies, or my relationship to them is my emotional investment and what sort of anxiety ride they take me through. So this one, I think after the highs of 3, 4 was like, oh, okay, I kind of know where we're going. I know what we're settling in for. There's nothing they can do to me that 3 didn't already do to me. So
I think,
Including kill his wife.
Yeah.
including kill his wife
Yeah.
twice. I think you will hold on to that opinion this entire time.
yeah,
Because much like 1, 2, and 3, where different directors, their own kind of visual style, they felt like different missions. 3 does kind of give you the emotional crescendo.
I like crescendo.
It's a lady da.
Yeah.
It's a
Crescendo.
feminine in language, like It's
You're
Mexican
making
and
it for the
Italian.
male
like an
only
Española.
podcast.
Yeah. I mean, in other languages, male, female nouns.
It is.
What was I saying?
Where the hell you been, Loca?
Oh.
Oh, goddamn it. Hold on. Real quick aside for everyone who's wondering, yes, we spent a lot of time in the group thread after last episode wherein we discussed New Moon.
I discuss New Moon daily.
About
That
the
was me
line.
as Brad Bird talking for Noel.
What's the quote?
Where the hell you been, Loca?
And we were trying to
Bella,
figure out,
where
like,
the hell you been, Loca?
he's Native American, but like Loco
I was trying
is
to
like
ascertain
Mexican.
if it was just a teenager being awkward
Yeah,
or
that's what it was.
this a weird
part of their tribal.
misappropriation weirdness or just
I
like
think it was just being awkward.
Yeah, I think it was just like an awkward.
no
teen.
matter what, it still fits with a dumb teen.
Yeah.
Whether it's edgelordy
Yeah.
or awkwardness,
Yeah.
either way.
It's super cute.
But it was just really funny and weird. Like, yes, it's like not only has that actor portrayed Hispanic and indigenous, which he is neither of each.
He's neither.
What is he?
He's like, I mean, he has
Shark.
Like,
He's shark.
He's part shark. His daughter is part lava. It's a thing. But it was just funny. Like having to break that
Nice
down.
callback.
Like he makes a thing with a thing, but he's neither of these things. The one is a reference. Like it was
Okay.
That line isn't in the book, by the way. It's
Oh.
just
It's just
it's
him
just
being
something he
cringe.
says in the movie.
Yeah.
as
All right. Go ahead.
so good.
far as I know. Now I have to go read the book again.
I'm going to have
this
this
one-
response to every movie moving forward.
Basically, because this one kind of settles into what the series becomes. This is kind of the tone of the rest of the series. They kind of become this style of movie where it is more about heist mission and a little less about like there are team dynamics and like the central emotional theme of all of these movies going forward is the needs of the
Family?
basically no seriously like it's his team is like he is willing to go against a government and lose a nuke for saving his team member. So it does have those emotional threads, but it is not as high velocity
Yeah.
increased emotion as the third one.
Yeah, I don't feel the tension of the possibility of loss anymore.
Fair.
You know, in the first movie, one of the on-screen deaths that have stuck with me the longest
The elevator,
is
right?
Emilio Estevez.
Yep.
That has stuck with me ever since I first saw it in the theater back in 96
Yes.
ish.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first
6, 8, 6.
the first movie and the third movie just have these deaths that like grab me. Gosh, I forget her name with the
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell's death. Like that hit me.
Oh,
emo-
that was crazy.
None of the
damn it.
movies really reach like they have their own kind of like
96.
vibes and high impact emotions and are they going to pull this off? But
Yeah.
it's a little less losing loved ones and a little more keeping the team intact and healthy.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more Ocean's 11 sans the comedy, right?
Well, I mean, this movie's pretty
Procedural.
damn funny.
But it's not a comedy like Ocean's.
That's fair.
not an ensemble
Also,
comedy.
too, as we go forward, each one kind of has its own structure that's really interesting. Like the fifth one, the big stunt. The movie starts with the big stunt,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then it phases from there in a very interesting way. You know, like I think you guys have seen just the posters of him hanging off of a jet or of a plane
Yeah.
by hand.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. That's
He
5?
did that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Do that?
Yeah.
yeah. There's
He's so stressed out.
there's full behind the scenes features of like with goggles, without goggles. If a piece of dust at that velocity gets inside of his eye, he's gonna die. Kind of
Holy
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Pigs in the chat saying, I live for this inside baseball and technical details. I had no idea about the IMAX changes.
Yeah, it's dope.
Fuck, this is making me want to actually watch this series.
Do it.
You should. Pink, get up to date with us. I think we're gonna do. I'll tell you the date that we're gonna do 5, and if you can get up to date with us.
I mean, we're doing these so you guys can join us. Dane Z, do they ever explain what happened to Tandy Newton? I'm sorry, Tendawe's Newton's character from Mission Impossible 2?
Nope.
No.
Nah.
No.
Yeah.
She's she's. You know what? She's living a good life in Australia,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
unencumbered. No, don't even bother.
Okay. We got a spam comment.
You had to bother.
Sorry. Well, I had to explain why I stopped mid-sentence. They're used to
I'm
me.
just gonna stop mid-sentence.
We all stop in sentence all the time.
That's true.
I love this movie. I also I don't think we're giving enough credit to that fist fight at the end of the movie in the car park. It is
Oh
so
my
brutal and
God,
so
it was
cool
Yeah.
and
so
so
cool.
wild.
Yeah.
The that's the kind of thing that just a 12-year-old with action figures on a trying to figure out, like, he falls here and then he's almost crushed in here and then the car's going here and then he jumps.
Yeah,
like
the
it
different
is.
levels, the jumping, and then he's under one of them as it's moving. And he kicks him.
I have seen this movie multiple times, and the other night when we were watching it, I was doing the whoa. I don't remember that one. Like, yeah, and just the dude like being so zealot, just like fuck off, and like deuces.
Bye.
That's the other thing. I think the villain in this I don't care about at all.
Well,
he does nothing for me.
He's just he's an avatar for a movement. He's not
a
an actual
baddie.
character.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
Philip
exactly.
Hoffman.
No one is.
I mean, I think there is a villain later in the series that does
Oh.
get close to there. Not the same way, but in the
Alright.
same, oh shit, that's an actual threat.
Good. Okay, cool.
But I'm not going to talk about it because it would be a spoiler. So yeah, I think this movie is wonderful, but it does not necessarily meet the expectation of part 3.
Yeah.
So
Bless
we're
you,
gonna,
Dylan.
well, without any concerns or questions, we're gonna move on to ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our thoughts. We all generally like this movie.
Yeah.
So do you need reminders of your ratings from the last?
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay.
It went brown fast.
I mean, it's been an hour and a half.
Have your apple from an hour and a half.
Oh, one brown. In this room temperature, open air space.
It's juicy.
Yeah,
I like how you're recovering from just being
I pick good
sick,
ones.
And you're like, I'm going to have this half-eaten floor apple now.
Who needs
An hour and a half.
who needs vaccinations? I eat floor food. Don't choke, because that's a whole nother fucking problem. Oh, did you read the book
delicious.
again?
I read the book again. No, I'm crying.
Uh,
No, you put on the Iron Giant. It's making me cry.
it has been playing this whole time.
It's been
We're that
playing this
good,
whole
guys.
time, and it's totally the same.
So, Alice, your ratings for Mission Impossible 1 was 3.5.
Oh, thank you.
For Mission Impossible 2, 2. This is out of 5, by the way. Out of 5 lit fuses. And for Mission Impossible 3, or M:I:3, you rated it 4 fuses.
Okay.
We'll do them all before you tell me. JD,
Uh-huh.
Mission Impossible 1, 3.25.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 2, 2.25.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossible 3, 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, MI1, 3.5. MI2, 2.84.
I forgot you were so precise.
Mission Impossible 3, 4.25. With that, the average rating of each one: Mission Impossible 1 across the three of us, 3.42. Mission Impossible 2, 2.36, and MI3, 4.25. An average of 4.25. I think that obviously that has been our favorite thus far. So who wants to go first?
You.
Me.
Do it.
What is
Okay.
your rating for Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol?
I'm going to do a precise one like you. 3.85. I do like 3 a little bit better, but this is very close.
3.2, 2.5, 4.5. Okay. 3.85. Any notes you want to put on top of that? Why you chose 3.85?
It's so good. It's definitely one of my favorites of the Mission Impossible series. They're this close, but I love Philip Seymour Hoffman in that cold open and the 3 and MI3.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, it still had the emotion for me there when it's like, oh, his wife did die and I was responsible for it. I was like, oh my God, again? Like, what does it keep happening?
Keep falling for
her. What about you? Again?
Listen, I don't have a brain. 3, 2, mine is 3.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow. Lower than 1, huh?
Lower than 1.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think one set the standard for just a really cool action movie directed in a very interesting way. So this isn't quite any of that for me. So it's less than 1, more than 2,
Good.
way less than 3.
How?
How about that? How about them apple? How about them?
How
floor
about
apple?
that floor apple?
I think by the metrics you're being overly reactive. Personally,
I can be.
yeah, I know.
What was your rating?
I'm gonna go 4. 4, because 4.25 Mission Impossible 3, and I think that this is only marginally less.
Okay.
Because
I think you're being a little reactive about this.
I'm actually being quite measured in response to all of the other ratings that I've given thus far.
I think I'm right.
I didn't think that, I thought that I do think
Yeah.
that this is a technically more proficient and more enjoyable movie than the first one. Even though the first one gets a little bit of extra credit for just being the first one.
Yeah.
Technically proficient, out the wazoo. Yes, but that does not trigger my emotional response.
Oh, I mean, it triggered my emotional response with all the
She kicked her out a window.
that was pretty dope.
Yeah, that was real.
And they're like, we were supposed to keep her alive. Oh.
I did like also too the sequence of like, just jump.
Yeah.
Well, I'll catch you.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I'll catch you with magnets. Like, yeah, I'll catch you.
I got you.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.
You didn't even talk about the sandstorm.
Oh, it was a wonderful sequence.
Sorry.
It was-
Thank you, Dylan.
there's like 4 or 5 giant action sequences in the movie. You can talk about each one. That was done mostly green screens and stuff. Obviously.
See?
I liked the sandstorm. You could see it, like, you knew it was coming for a while, but you also knew there was nothing you could do.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, whoop.
yeah, we have all the warning we can get, but
And
it's going to still be bad.
It is a giant theme of this movie that everything breaks.
Yeah,
Like
that is really fun.
from the jump, like the cameras or the doors aren't opening when he wants them to.
Yeah.
The phone booth won't explode when it's supposed to, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
I thought that was all wonderful. Like it's a way to scale back from the high tech craziness of the third one.
Yeah.
And the movies will.
What
continue to
happens
do that.
when all the things that you're relying on can't be relied on? That's very cool. I like that a lot. Yeah.
So
And
if I'm
you're making it sound like I don't like the movie.
well, you're making it sound like you don't like.
I
the movie.
enjoyed the movie. Red Bird.
I mean, that's 3 out of 5 is middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an enjoyed movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like average, mid. It's literally mid. It's literally the mid.
Well, 2.5 would be mid.
No, 2.5 would be unfavorable.
Out of 5?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, it would be the middle. Sure, this is marginally favorable.
Yeah. I favor it marginally.
Yeah, you're gonna hate the rest. All right, let's do some quick math. 3.85 plus 3 plus 4 equals divided by 3.
I can't believe there's more than the
This
gift.
is a 3.62 average rating between the two of us.
3.
3 of us. It was just me and you. I don't really count him.
Not like when I have opinions.
Eat your apple. Just enjoy your apple, little guy. No, I'm surprised. I genuinely thought you would at least like at the same level as MI1, because I know 2 is like down, 3 is whoa.
Yeah.
And then I thought this
We
would
like
be,
level off right
I think
in
this
the-
would be like this would be the safe floating waiting zone of like
Yeah.
3.25. I was genuinely surprised by 3. And I think you're wrong.
So I'm just down by 0.25. Is
I think it
what
would
I've
be
decided.
on even if not marginally better than your experience with 1,
Yeah, great.
because I think it's a very strong movie,
Wonderful.
which is my subjective opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're stupid. I think we did it.
Did we?
I think we did it.
Dylan, did we do
Mission
it?
did it.
You done did it.
Mission did it.
Mission. So,
Mission did it.
I should say that at the end of every movie.
oh,
Not
he
just the
literally
podcast.
does. Mission accomplished.
Yes,
And you
yeah.
actually said mission accomplished.
You actually said it?
Yeah. Let's. What are we
That was
doing next week? We don't know yet. But
Not gonna be.
please join us in watching these movies and watching the Twilight movies. Let's do this. Ving Rhames was not in the Iron Giant. Ving Rhames is in everything. You just don't see him.
Yeah, Vicious Marshmallow brought that up earlier. We missed it.
Well,
What?
It was Vin Diesel.
Oh, you said Ving Rhames, not Vin Diesel.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Vicious
just thought I
Marshmallow.
didn't know something. I just
Vin-
went
It's
with
funny.
it.
It's in
Vin
my head.
Diesel.
I knew what he meant.
I knew what I meant.
Vin,
That's
not
all that
Ving.
matters.
A floor apple a day keeps the IMF away. Thank you, Dane. You get it. Why are mom and dad fighting? Because he hates when I have opinions that he doesn't like.
That's pretty true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll argue with me about my opinion after I've given my opinion. I'm
I-
like, I've just given it. It's
I don't.
done.
I don't.
No takebacks.
No,
I don't. I don't intend to argue. I just will vocalize my shock if because we're mostly aligned on a lot of things.
That's true.
So I just like what?
What?
Really?
What kind of fool are? How are we friends?
Why are you so fucking stupid? And how do I get you to stop being so stupid? Yeah.
I don't know.
So next week we're a little on the hook, but currently scheduled. Mission Impossible 5 is like April 9th, so 2 weeks from now. Get on top of
Oh my
it.
God,
I'm excited.
We keep shifting things around.
Sorry.
The goal. No. Not like that. It's just like other like current events start happening. Life happens, and the hope was to get all of these done before the new one comes out. But we're not even gonna do that. So currently, you tell me if you want to do this or not. I have us scheduled for both 7 and 8 in one night on June 4th. Because 8 comes out in theaters May 23rd.
That's fine.
We'll have to, and they're kind of a two-parter.
Oh, perfect. That's fine. I love it.
They're long movies.
Yeah.
So and they're different productions. There's a cliffhanger. So I don't know.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. But yeah, we're gonna keep doing these all the way through, and Twilight's in there somewhere.
Twilight's everywhere.
Do you have
Twilight's inside of
any
it.
ideas
real
for next
friends we
week
made along
at all?
No, we're gonna figure it out.
So Alice will not be able to join us next week.
Yeah, we're gonna be a couple people down.
They won't let me out of the morgue next week.
Oh,
My joke
You're
comes
stuck
back.
in the morgue.
I'll be inside the morgue.
Joke.
So if
we'll
you have
figure
any
it out.
ideas of what you want us to talk about next week, let us know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Is anything coming that we should check out?
Email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com.
That's right.
Jump in the chat. Let us know what your thoughts, feelings, emotions. Thank you for joining us tonight. Dylan, thank you for producing this.
Yeah.
Probably the best podcast that's ever existed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
Don't check it, but it is. It's true. But yeah, thanks guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, JD. Thank you for everyone coming in. Enjoy the apple, you dirtbag.
It's so good.
We'll talk. Join us
talk
next
at you
week,
later.
Wednesday at 8 Eastern Standard Time, as well as Inside the Morgue and Fresh Floppies available on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We'll see you guys later. Love you.
It'll be off the chain, Hizzy.
What? Wiz Khalifa's chain?
Yeah.